Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Francine and this is my channel, The Hermetic Herald. It's a bit of a lower light today, so it's going to be a pretty chill day. I wanted to touch base with a number of readings that I had on my list. I have so many, so thank you guys so much for your patience. For those of you that have asked and requested a number of celebrities, I tend to do specific intervals and times because I feel like there's a certain time where I can tap into their energy, and so today I feel like doing a couple. So I'm gonna see what you guys think of this. This is gonna be a reading specifically on Joe Burrow and his girlfriend Olivia. So as of the time that I received the request, which was 4 weeks ago from a lovely viewer at HGFM1, I wanted to touch base with that because it's been 4 weeks. I feel like out of nowhere, this recommendation thought it's been coming up in my head a number of times. I feel like it's time. I wonder what's happened in the 4 weeks since this request. It may be news for you. It will definitely be news to me because I don't know these two, and that's typically how I like to orient my reading. If you guys are new, thank you guys so much for tuning in to see what this reading is all about. I want to give you guys the disclaimer that I don't look into the celebrities that I typically read for unless there's someone that's very, very well known and mainstream. I typically like to keep away from any current information or news sources because I like to at least go into this as close to a blank slate as possible, meaning I may know them, but I don't know any news sources or any insight recently with regards to them. So with Joe Burrow, let's look into him. I just feel like there's something coming out that will come out soon about him, and he came up in my radar. So let's look. I don't even know what he does because I just want to make sure I tap into his energy. That's sufficient. So let's see what goes on, what comes in. I felt like using this deck. I got the Knight of Cups. So it seems like he's a sweet energy. Usually the Knight of Cups though is flirty. It's the energy of someone who knows kind of how to operate with regards to like being a knight. Very chivalrous, or at least being very easy to talk to, very flirtatious. I feel like he's always searching for some reason. I'm getting that energy because I got the Eight of Cups. It feels like he's a very smart person, very intellectual in some way. I feel like even if he doesn't project himself to be intellectual, he is pretty intellectual, or just a Virgo, has some specific Virgo placement coming through here. Very entrepreneurial, has kind of a keen understanding of the feminine energy, so it feels as though Joe Burrow is more well-rounded, even if that doesn't seem to be how he projects himself. That's what I'm getting so far. So don't even know the guy, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below this reading. All right, let's keep going. So let's look at the internal and external feelings that Joe Burrow has for Olivia. How does Joe Burrow, Spirit Team? Thank you so much for being here with us today. Please help and assist me, including the Spirit Team of Joe Burrow and Olivia. Please help me in understanding, what does Joe Burrow feel externally to Olivia? What are his external feelings? How he projects the feelings he has for Olivia. For some reason I heard Chloe. For Olivia. Okay. How does Joe Burrow feel about Olivia externally? What about internally? How does he feel about her internally? I'm hearing two, so we're going to do one more for external. Oh, wow. Yeah. There we go. That's going to explain a lot for us. Let's get into his internal feelings. How does he internally feel towards Olivia? Okay. How does Olivia feel about him externally? Olivia externally. Just gonna keep it like that. Anything else for external, Spirit? Yeah. Okay, and then what about how does she feel internally? Damn. Okay. And anything else? Okay. Let's do that. So, interesting. They're saying the last three are significant. Bottom of the deck is the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Devil. Okay. Wow, the energy is not that great. Overall energy is disappointment, or feeling there's a sense of disappointment and pain. So there's some pain that's bleeding into this reading. There's a sense I'm hearing entitlement. So interesting. There's some entitlement coming in with this Three of Swords for some reason. Typically, I don't think of entitlement. I typically think of heartbreak. I think of disappointments, pain. Something about entitlement from the pain. So someone in the relationship is feeling entitled. or as a response to pain, they get entitled. So they might be more possessive in some way at times. That's coming through. The Two of Swords, which is indecisiveness. This is not feeling like a good start to the reading. The energy is feeling really karmic. Okay. And the devil energy is notorious for karmic relationships, karmic contracts, toxic, addictive patterns. This is not a good feeling so far. Let's keep going though. They're very split about each other. And I feel like it's because of some of the negative attributes with regards to this relationship. It kind of feels like an option, but it's to them an option, but it's not, it's not feeling like a long-term relationship here. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so what are his external feelings towards her, guys? Let's look at it. We have the Hanged Man. All right, the Fool, Gemini energy, the Four of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Okay, so he's feeling like he wants to be in control of this relationship, meaning he wants to be able to call the shots on whether or not he talks about it. He doesn't like the idea of you guys thinking that it's going to end up in something deeper than it really is. Externally, he just wants you guys to know that he's open. He wants you guys to know that he's still in deliberation about this relationship, and that he also is very protective. He wants to you guys to know that it's his business. It's his information, and that's why I feel like I got in the comment that they were private from a lovely viewer. So I feel like I understand, because four of Pentacles is notorious for, I don't want to share anything with anyone. I want to hold on to the things that matter. I want to hold on to information and insight. He is very possessive of the information and also of the relationship. He feels like that's the only way to maintain control in the relationship, is to not present that to you guys, or to not share it and not let it be known. So he's kind of in deliberation about her, and he wants you to know that. He actually wants you guys to not think that this is like a long-term thing, in the sense of like, oh, it's going to be one and done or forever. He wants you guys to know that he's still learning and growing, and he's still seeing things with new eyes with her, with Olivia. So yeah, he wants you guys to know that he's just kind of like a young spirit with the Fool energy. It feels like he's on a journey, and he's willing to learn as he goes, and he knows that there's some crazy shit that could inevitably follow with this relationship or in this relationship, but he's willing to take the ride. And he's like, it's my journey, I'm doing it. You know, it's very interesting. It's very, very, I was going to say insecure. The energy is coming through as like, like it's mine, give it back. So he's kind of like feeling just really grabby about this energy. This energy is feeling like playing with you a little bit. I think he's playing with the idea of people wanting to know, but he also is holding back at the same time. Her externally, how she feels, Olivia, is the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Interesting. She feels like she's the generous one in the relationship, or that she is generous within the relationship, and then she feels like she's unbalanced with him externally, or that she is like trying to find something in him that will help her through her life, or help her through her lessons in life. So these two are feeling like, oh, we're just kind of in the in-between, and we're trying to find balance within ourselves, and we came across our path. We came across each other's path. So it's just like, okay, you know, we're not really certain. There's not a lot of certainty in this reading so far externally with them. They're projecting uncertainties and their business. More so on his end, on Joe's, and then on hers, it's more so, I'm a very generous person, and she could also just be an earth sign. Capricorn energy coming through. It could be Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, but I'm just getting the energy of someone who is like focused on trying to maintain stability, and I'm seeing 222 on the clock. Stability in relationships. I feel like they're doing this to kind of they're playing a game in regards to like longevity. They're kind of trying to keep things, it's like already feeling tired, but they're trying. They're open, basically. I think they're open for other things, but at the same time, they're kind of letting this kind of go in a way that is pushing against some prison or something. It's a very weird energy. I feel like they're just kind of tired in this relationship on the external already, and it feels like it's bleeding into the internal. When we got the Three of Swords for the overall energy, you guys saw the Three of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Devil. Does that feel like good energy to you? It feels like someone who's uncertain because of some karma surrounding this relationship. Like they're both uncertain about each other, and they're kind of just biding their time because there's maybe some temptation or some interest, or maybe the sex is good, but then like when it comes to like them together as a couple, it just doesn't work out. There's a lot of pain between the two of them. There's a lot of harsh words likely that are said. There's a lot of like immaturity. So I really wonder how this will go. Let's see. So in his internal feelings, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the slow game. We have the Strength card, and we have the Judgment card. Interesting. Can I have clarity on the Knight of Pentacles? Knight of Pentacles, Spirit. Because the Knight of Pentacles can either be a person that's like, yeah, he feels a soul connection towards her. He feels like she's like a very generous energy, like almost like mothering, but also that she's very like sensual, and he's very sexually attracted to her. He has a lot of inspiration sexually with her. He gets along really well with her sexually. He really is kind of thriving on that. That's kind of what helps this relationship run. But he's like not willing to like put a ring on it or anything like that. He's more so interested in like kind of keeping this going because of the sexual energy between them. There's some attraction that's like on a soulmate level, but I feel like they're karmic. Interesting. So bottom of the deck for that was the Queen of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. There's a lot of love there in the sense of like they can have like cute banter, playful banter. They can kind of like let go, but they still, when they let go, have some shadow attributes to them that's very interesting to behold. It's like it's like they work well together. I think they could do well working together, but as far as like long-term relationship, I don't see that being so great. Let's see. What's her internal vibe? Her internal vibe is the Hermit, the Page of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. She totally is in it for the sex. The sex is king in this relationship. Ace of Wands, King of Wands. So they both have wands coming through. That's indicative of like phalluses. It's like the energy of like sexual drive. She's willing to kind of like, she's like, it's almost like a friends with benefits type relationship where they have like a banter with each other. They can get along with each other. They're friendly with each other, but then when they get into their like karma or within their shadow sides, that's when they don't work out very well. So they try to keep it light. They try to focus on the sex. They focus on the intimacy there. Well, I say intimacy loosely. I think it's just sex. And so if it works for them, right? But that's just what it feels like. It just feels like sex is primarily what they are talking about. And they're okay with it so far. They feel like as long as both are on the same page, that's what matters. So they're kind of playing with it. They're kind of feeling childlike a little bit, a little flirtatious, playful about this whole relationship. That's the energy that's coming through this relationship. What would you like to say about this relationship, Spirit Team? Because, yeah, I feel like they have something to say from this deck here. What would you like to say about the longevity of this relationship? Yeah, imagine, but it's in reverse. What else would you like to say about the longevity of this relationship before I explain it? What would you like to say about the longevity of this relationship between these two? Look at that, guys. Not for you. Totally not for that. Like, it's already set in stone that this has an expiration date. They're not going to last. Go the distance, time for a nap, and here now. They need to be present. They need to kind of like take a nap and take time away from each other, and they need to like know that they've already gone the distance in this relationship. So you're going to hear, if they haven't already broken up, that they're no longer together. If at the time that this comes out, right, like let's say 4 weeks ago I got that suggestion for the reading, right? Let's say they broke up within that 4-week period and I do this reading and it's like, oh, you already knew that? Yeah. It's gonna happen, or it already has happened. It feels like just like very broken energy between the two of them. So as of January 18th, 2024, I did this reading. If they've already broken up, there's your answer. And that's confirmation for me because I don't know these two whatsoever. Okay, so let's keep going. So Lovers is at the bottom, Gemini energy, Queen of Wands. She's going to be the one that leaves him, by the way, if it hasn't already happened. That's what I'm getting. She's going to be the one to feel empowered and walk away. And he already knows that this is going to happen. They've been holding off on it for quite some time and doing the friends with benefits kind of thing. Yeah, friends with benefits energy all around. All right. So let's see if there's any other things that we can learn from these two. What are their archetypes together? Feel this one, servant. Okay. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. They're kind of serving each other in a way where they're kind of just getting what they want from each other. Tit for tat kind of energy here. What are the light attributes that Joe brings to the relationship? What are some light attributes that Joe brings? Healer and guide. So he's helping her heal. He has passion to serve others by repairing the mind, body, and spirit, and also ability to help transform pain into healing. I feel like they've been through some massive painful moments in life in their experiences romantically, and I feel like he's helping her heal. He's also a guide representing the nature of the divine in life and yourself. So I mean, I feel like at the end of the day they're learning about empowerment by realizing what they want, and that there's more to life, there's more to their history, like there's more to come for them if they want something long-term or want something serious. So they learned it together. I feel like they're karmic. They're karmics mystic. Look at that. Revels in intimate union with the divine. It's for her. I feel this one too, child orphan. I feel like she's had some abandonment in the past, and this relationship has helped her learn more about the need for empowerment and also for independence. Queen archetype for her radiates the regal feminine. She had the Queen of Pentacles here, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. I feel like she's a very protective energy. I feel like she would be a great mother down the line. Mothering energy. She would be a really nurturing person to have in your corner. Storyteller. They have a story to tell with this relationship. Great passion and devotion between them, and also learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. So they actually did learn how to serve each other and to teach each other some big lessons about healthy romance and what they want in their lives. Now, when it comes to their karmic attributes, what karmic attributes would you say that there are in Joe specifically? What karmic or shadow attributes? He passes on private or secret information, betrays confidences. It's really interesting. It's like he has the Four of Pentacles, which is someone who's notorious for holding in information. But I think what he has a tendency of doing is he tends to also, there's been times where he's actually shared some things with news outlets and acted as if it wasn't him. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So he holds on to information for an appointed time, and then he'll tell you about his ex, or tell you about something that someone else told him in confidence, or he'll talk about it with like a news source or something like that. So if don't get him mad, like don't mess with him, because I feel like he'll share your information if he does find fault with you in a deep way. He'll say it. Negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. He might just be a bit pessimistic of a person with the world, and then also have maybe like a higher sense of self, so he doesn't quite see when he's in the wrong in something right away. I also feel like this is for him. Pioneer, compulsive need to keep moving on. He has this need to keep moving on in relationships, and I feel like that's what's coming through. He decided to serve in this relationship with Olivia by being there longer than I think he would have been. I feel like he tends to destroy bridges and burn bridges pretty easily. He ends things before they really go and come to their full potential. He also tends to intimidate people. He has a tendency, I'm not gonna lie guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm getting that he has deep fears behind verbal and physical abuse. So he tends to be verbally abusive with people. He talks about how you're lucky to be with him, or he expects you to recognize just how great he is, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So he needs to work on some of that ego there. There's like some aspects of ego coming through in this reading. For her, we have selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. I feel as though she wasn't maybe as communicative with regards to what she was looking for in the relationship at first, because the sex was great, or there was like some kind of like sexual intrigue, or there was something there, chemistry there. I feel like she settled for that rather than settling for everything that she wanted as the Queen of Pentacles. That's usually a very generous person. I feel like she kind of sold herself short in a way. Misuse of the power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. I feel like she had spiritual practices or wisdom under her belt, but she didn't use it. And that's coming through. So her spirit team's trying to say to be honest and to be not to be hypocritical about her spiritual path. And like if she feels like in her heart she needs to be celibate, she should be celibate and not just make an exception for someone. Something about her knowing something spiritually and not doing it. We also have vampire, depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. She was codependent and a chronic complainer. Someone who would take a lot of energy out of someone. So he might have felt really drained with her. I feel like this is why there's some distance in the energy between them, and it's really just a physical relationship primarily, and like a light friendship, but mostly chemistry is what's going on between them. We have using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as a starving artist to elicit pity. So using her talent in a way where she was misusing it to mistreat other people. Maybe looking at herself a bit higher than she should have. I don't know who this Olivia is. So being a little full of ego. They both have a lot of ego stuff. They're learning a lot of lessons, guys. These two are really karmic. We also have waiting for a knight to provide for you. So she can be a bit of a romantic in the sense of like not healthy. She doesn't have healthy dependency on people. She's codependent. She tends to be codependent, and she also expects him to like do everything for her. Interesting. Anything else, Spirit? Any other between them? What shadow attributes do they have? We have pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. So there wasn't really an intention on growing together. They just kind of took it as it came. It kind of feels lackadaisical, like kind of going with the flow. This is going with the flow energy 101. Goddess. I feel like the female form was exploited in this relationship as well. So sex definitely was the focus. They kind of would just kind of latch onto each other. I just get the energy of two people latching onto each other to make it through, and it just isn't going to work out. If it hasn't already ended and dissipated, that's what it's coming off as. So at the end of the day, guys, you got the card not for you. Not for you, and imagine. When you see imagine in reverse, that means don't imagine it. It's already real. Like it's already like set in stone. Wow. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with us, Spirit Team? Anything else that we can gather and learn from these two? Is there anything else? We have someone you know is independable and insincere. Someone here, feather, is significant. Someone that in this relationship is not dependable and is insincere. Someone you can't really rely on. Someone who's not really honest with themselves. Affairs with your family. They may have had issues with their family while they were together, or the family didn't agree with the other person they were with on either side. We also have plenty of material things. I think that maybe this was a bit of a materialistic relationship too. And ego and materialism is coming through. Reconciliation. Discord among friends and family. And we have waiting for news package letter. So let's see, are they going to reconcile, Spirit? What's their trajectory? We had that come through. They have issues with their family. So they're going to try to move on to calmer waters. So you may see them trying to do this again, like having a relationship again. But look at that, the Five of Pentacles. It's not going to work out. They're better off looking at their work, how they can work together maybe in the future, or like how they can balance themselves out individually. But as far as a relationship together, no. They're going to end up single. They're going to end up distancing from each other. And one of them's going to end up leaving the other in the dark. So I don't see something good coming out of this. Someone might try to fight for this, but it's not going to work out. Seven of Wands is defensiveness. There's just a lot of fighting between the two of them. They might try to fight for this, but at the end of the day, it's not going to work out. Okay, so that is what I have for you guys today. I hope this helps you gain a better picture of these two. I feel like if there's any other questions or things that you want me to talk about, I would be happy to get back into it. I'm just going to tune this energy back out and move on to the next one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this reading and also this energy exchange. You watching it means a lot to me, and also me doing these readings I hope is helping you all understand them better. So take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.